Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to yet another video featuring the incredible Yamaha Genos 2. Today I want to have a chat with really those of you who've maybe got a Genos 1, a Tyros 5, maybe an SX, and are still sitting on the fence and thinking, should I get a Genos 2? And the reason I'm sort of doing this video is in response to the number of emails that I get from people who keep sort of asking, is it really worth the money? Is it worth upgrading? It looks the same as a Genos 1, so therefore do I get my value for money? And I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks, really. And the thing that I suppose is the big question is, when you play, do you want to achieve the very best sound? In other words, are you happy playing a keyboard that's probably longer than 10 years now? And are you looking for something fresh with different sounds and something that will give you the sound that you really want in a sort of modern music day world? This thing ticks so many boxes in so many ways. Don't get me wrong, and I'm going to be honest and go over some of the sections that maybe you don't want to be playing with, but 99% of it you do. And the simple answer is yes. Before I take you into the realm of all the things that it can do, the simple answer, before you even start, is yes, you should be looking at getting rid of your Genos 1 at this point. Why? Apart from anything else, your Genos 1 is pretty much, it's old. There's no getting away around it. It's an older instrument. This has so many differences, despite the looks. It's kind of like when you trade in your car, you've got, say, for example, a Mini, and then you look at the new Mini, the shape is slightly different. But essentially, it's got the same things. It's still got a steering wheel, still got the seats, wheels, all the usual stuff. And this is very much the same. We have this new sloping screen here, which adds definitely 100% benefit to seeing the screen, because the previous Genos 1, the screen was quite flat. And whilst I have my Genos 1 still here, I find this so much easier to see, and also there's now controls to adjust the brightness of the screen as well. So if you do suffer with poor vision, or maybe you're sort of just always leaning over to look at the screen, you don't need to do that with this. This is sitting completely flat on my keyboard stand. There's no tilting to it, because I've seen some people putting wedges under the back of their Genos 1s to try and get it to sort of work better. But this is perfectly solid on the stand. It doesn't go anywhere. So that's one key benefit before you've even sort of got off the block, as it were. The styles are vastly improved, and because of the drums, the sound overall is really outstanding. And I actually sat down with my calculator and I thought, hang on, let's do some maths here and see what you actually get for your money. So the average price at the moment, as of today's date, which is the 17th of July 2025, I've looked, and the average price is between 3,300 in the UK and 3,500. So working on worst case scenario, and not even considering that you will have a trade-in, if you work on £3,500, that equates to £13 per week, based on the average lifespan of these is about between 4 and 5 years before another one comes out. So let's assume you keep it for 5 years. It's £13 a week. What else brings you the amount of pleasure that this thing can bring for 13? Sky TV is more expensive. In actual fact, 2 cups of coffee and at a coffee shop, and you're pretty much there. So for 13 quid, you're getting something that really is going to give you so much fun, so much entertainment, and stay with you until the next one. I never understand this logic of waiting and thinking, well, I won't get it yet. I'll buy one when it comes towards, maybe 3 years, and then you go and buy it, and then you're still paying about the same price. It doesn't come down much more than that. And then you've only got it for 2 years before another one comes out. And then when the other one comes out, you feel like you've been hard done to because you've not had the full benefit. I never understand this idea of waiting from one to other. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And as I said to you, when you actually do the math and think, hang on a minute, £13 this costs me a week, spread over the 5-year period, it's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. And of course, by the time you've traded in, you'll be looking probably about 6, 7, 8 per week if you traded one in, your Genos one or another keyboard. So for the overall sound and features that this gives you, including the new reverb, the new ambient drums, it just doesn't make sense to try and justify why you think you shouldn't trade this in or trade your old one in for this. It just goes without sense. And also the number of people that I see adding modules and other keyboards to their setup. Why? You don't need other modules and keyboards. Just simply take one step up to a Genos 2 and you've got everything you could possibly need. This thing has everything on board, more so than other keyboards. Things like you've got vocal multipads, which you can't get on other instruments. The ambient drums aren't available on other instruments. It's just absolute nonsense to not even consider making that move, or sort of putting it off and thinking, well, I won't do it yet, I'll wait another year. Why are you waiting another year? You could have had a year's entertainment out of it and not be in the situation where you buy it towards the end of its life and then you feel hard done to because you've got rid of it. Anyway, this isn't a hard sales pitch at all, but it just doesn't make sense to me why when you speak to somebody, oh no, I'm not getting rid of my Genos 1. It's brilliant. Well, it is, yes, you're right. But this takes that brilliance to another level. And why wouldn't you want that if you're a real musician? It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, going into the incredible beast, you've got some really nice effects that you can now add to your voices, things like the Revelation Cathedral effect. That is just one absolutely delicious reverb. You can't get that on a Genos 1 because that voice doesn't exist. That's one of the new deduct. You've got standard deduct. And then the meditation has a much wider sort of reverb sound to it. And you can choose to use things like the new Desert Adventure style if you wanted to. And of course, I'm just literally playing this out the box. This is the OTS number 1 that comes with Desert Adventure style. And of course, we go for these bigger sounds as you build through the variations. So just going through these OTSs, you've got a nice big string sound. That's absolutely colossal sounding. And maybe you don't want those sort of drums in the background. Maybe you just want a very simple style, in which case you've got things like movie horns, which again, you still have the sort of use of the voices. And maybe at this point you're thinking, actually, yeah, but the problem is I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of banks of registrations that I made on my Genos 1 or on my SX. No problem. They load in. They still work in the Genos 2 pop your USB stick in, call up your registration, and away you go. No worrying about you have to run them through a conversion piece of software to get them to... None of that. It just works. And the whole instrument has so many brand new styles. And you can go into any of the categories. The oldies section I actually quite like, for the pure reason that there's some really great styles in here. So you've got things like supergroup. If you go further back towards the sort of back end of the styles here, you've got some really quite quirky styles as well. So you can do all the sort of old stuff, you can do all the new stuff. There's loads of new styles in the dance section. You literally have nothing to be concerned about in terms of styles. And of course, don't ever forget that Yamaha has the biggest collection of styles amongst any keyboard. And there are so many people who create styles. You can buy them from different companies. And Yamaha have got loads of expansion packs available on their website. When you buy this, you simply register and you've got expansion pack after expansion pack. And of course, there are companies out there that you can sort of buy styles from just off the shelf. You've got things like Russian folk. Those were the days. Anyway, no clues there. But you've got some really, really great stuff in here. And many, 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 many new styles that normally when there's a jump from one keyboard to another, you don't get that many new styles. But with this, you do. And this is one of my particular favourites. This is just stunning. huge, and that is kind of the word that I would use, or definitely the word I would use, to sum up the jump from Genos 1 to Genos 2, because the styles I've had, I only can call a injection of energy. They are all really incredibly powerful. There's all the usuals in here as well, which obviously you've got, but there are some really quite nice. In fact, Gunslinger is one of my also favourites. This is a great intro. So you can recreate all those old westerns. Maybe you aren't of that particular age group. Maybe you are younger and you want something a bit more modern. So if you go into the dance category, you've got lots of very usable dance styles. Nice big intro. Maybe that's a bit hardcore for you. Maybe it was something a little bit more sort of pop dance. So you've got all that sort of stuff in there. You literally have got page after, you've got 5 pages of dance styles, and quite interesting intros. Some really quite short, some really quite long. Here's a long one. Can write a chart hit on it. There is a 16-track sequencer in here, so you can record the backing and then overlay 8 additional tracks if you so wish, or you can record a complete 16 tracks from scratch if you're that sort of person. You can record audio into here, you can connect microphone and sing into it. It has its own vocal harmony and vocoder. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And frankly, you just never get bored. I got mine November last year when it was launched, and it's just, in fact, was it? Yeah, it was actually, we're coming up to nearly 2 years in November. So yeah, before that, it just doesn't stop delivering. It's got so much in it, and you just simply can't get bored. If you do, there's something wrong. Absolutely something wrong. One of the things that I do like about it is it's got 3 gigabytes of expansion memory. So if you decide that you want to add some of your own sounds, you can do. It uses a little program called Expansion Manager, which you can download to your PC or to your Mac. And it's very, very simple to use. Takes a little bit of time to set up, but nobody's in a hurry. But it's a great bit of kit, and then it allows you to add your own samples, your own strings, your own choirs, your own anything you want that you can create. You can do that. Of course, it's got all the OTSs for each style, so every single new style has ready to go voices set up for you. So say, for example, we wanted to choose Vintage Cha-Cha. Simply press OTS 1. Sets up my first voice, my second, my third, my fourth. And of course the style is ready to go. Sort of thing. There's various organs in this instrument in terms of you've got Hammond, you've got an old sort of Lowry sounding instrument, you've even got Verzi, and there's a really nice cathedral organ in here as well. So you covered on all bases for organs. The piano, now this is where the instrument gets 12 out of 10 because the pianos in here are absolutely CFX Concert Grand. Nobody makes better pianos than Yamaha. And then you've got these new pianos, which is like the Yamaha U1 as well. So it's the old upright piano that used to sit in the living room. And if I go to page 2, I've got an U1 stage upright stage. And the detail in those keys. And of course, on page 1, we have the new Character Grand. Now that is absolutely incredible. And if you actually layer that with the CFX Concert Grand as well, you can get some really nice, interesting piano sounds. That's just one of the divisions that's got more super voices you can shake a stick at. However, if we go to the woodwind, we've now got some new saxophones as well. We've got this funk alto sax. So you've got super articulation voices over here where you hold down or press, it'll start to flash, and then when you play the note it will activate the effect for the voice. So that's put a small bend into the sound. Number 3 adds a sort of overblow. So that's another one of my new favourite voices. Then you go into acoustic guitars and you've got these nice new classic guitars. And then you've got the neck, classic nylon neck. That is just, yeah, that's as good as it gets. It really is. You've even got things like new percussion, vibes, tremolo. You can hear the tremolo on the effect on the vibraphone. Got new steel drums, haha. You've got new timpani, and these are real timpani. We've even got roll, and the winning lottery numbers are... No, I don't go that far. But that's the sort of thing. That is just so I could sit here for hours going through the new content that you get in the Genos 2. So when you see the comments on Facebook or in YouTube or any social platform where they say, I'm not buying one because there's not a lot of change, absolute claptrap, rubbish. It's got more in it than you can ever believe. And to sort of just write it off for the fact that it looks the same or similar, not the same, because you've got 3 extra buttons over here that are now assignable as well. And of course the tilt on the screen, you've got this sort of lip to help improve vision. All in all, it's the complete package. I've said this on all my videos ever since day one. I will only tell you the truth. I'm not here to give you one of these sales pitches where somebody somewhere is getting a backhander. I don't. I get nothing from Yamaha. Zilch, zero, not a penny. So the idea or the intention of showing you this video is to give you the confidence to think, actually, no, I'm going to do it. Because the number of times in the past that I've done exactly what probably you're doing, thinking, no, I'll hang on. In fact, there's a keyboard in the corner over here that I did exactly that with. And to be fair, I wished I'd actually bought it on the day it came out. Because it's been an absolute workhorse, and I wouldn't have for anything changed it. But I hang on. So take the plunge is basically what I'm saying. For the £13 a week, if you buy one brand new, if you trade in, you're paying even less. And there are some amazing deals out there at the minute. If you look around the prices, the dealers have got some absolutely tremendous prices on offer. When it first came out, it was a lot more. So buying it now, I don't think it will ever drop any lower than it is. So there's nothing to gain in terms of holding off on price. It's only down to whether you decide you want to take a plunge and get the best instrument money can buy. And it is, trust me. If I thought there was another keyboard, and I say this in every video, if somebody comes knocking on my door and says, look, here's a new keyboard, it does this, that's exactly what the Yamaha does, and it does this, and this, but it sounds better, then I would bring it straight to you and say, look, you've got to see one of these because this is the best one going. But this just simply can't be beaten. There's some keyboards out there that shouldn't even in my book be sold. They really shouldn't be on the market. They're full of bugs, problems, issues. This doesn't have any issues whatsoever. It's just reliable, it's solid, and apart from anything else, every time you turn it on, it gives you the inspiration to play. Even if you just sort of sit down and go, okay, what are we going to do today? Let's go in a country and let's try that one. The minute you start an introduction, you get an accompaniment. No, the minute you start an introduction, it brings inspiration. Now, if you can't get an idea of a song from that intro and that style part, it leads you into playing something. Okay, maybe not what you wanted to play, but certainly it will lead you into different avenues, and you can turn off parts so easily. And this is the other thing that makes me love Yamaha, is okay, maybe I don't like that piano part. I can simply go into channel straight away on the screen and turn it off. And all of a sudden it becomes something very, very different. So you can turn all the parts on and off just by pressing the channel button that's on the screen here. It's really, really simple to play. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble on much longer. 30 minutes is plenty for me to sort of just basically tell you that in my opinion, now is the time to get a Genos 2. They're the great price. It is still by far the best arranger on the market, and anybody else who tries to tell you different is just trying to flog you something, because maybe there's more profit margin in it, or maybe they simply want to get rid of something in the shop that they don't want there anymore. This is the one to buy. Without question, I can't repeat it enough. It is. By far, it's the one to buy. So if somebody's, when you're wondering and you're going, I want to look at a Genos, and they, oh no, you don't want to look at that, you want to look at this. Hang on a minute, ask yourself the question, why? Why are they so keen to sell me onto something else when I know what I want to have a listen to? There's a reason, and it goes down to money. So try a Genos 2. If you can't get access to a music store, then maybe take a day out and see if you can get a trip somewhere to just at least see one. Or maybe a friend or an organ club colleague, or there's got to be somebody out there where you can actually sit and have a go. Because the minute you do, that'll be it. You'll fall in love. No two ways about it. So there you go. I'm not going to wax lyrical anymore about this, because apart from anything else, it starts to look like I am trying to push one down you. But I'm not. I'm really, really not. As I said at the beginning of the video, I do get help from support from Yamaha if I need it. If I ring up and say, look, have you got something I can add to this? They will try and help, but that's where it stops. Only for the fact that they know that I like the product. I don't get a penny, never have, never will. I don't condone that sort of thing, because otherwise I'm becoming a salesman. And when you're offering advice and help to somebody, you should never do it with the intention of trying to flog somebody something, because that's the wrong reason. It should be down to you to make that decision. I like this. I really do. I think I can see myself playing this, and I think I can see myself being very happy for a long time with it. And I guarantee you, when you do that, yeah, the rest is just, when does it get delivered? So there you go. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this 30 minutes of fun. If you've got any questions with regards to this, by all means, I'm always happy to answer. I'm one of the few people that will actually read through the comments every single day and check them. And if you've got a genuine concern or you want to know something, leave a comment. I'll definitely come back to you. Anyway, enjoy. Let's see if you decide to take the plunge. If you do, drop a line and let me know if you've decided to go ahead with one. And I can give you a whole list of resources with people who supply styles and content and all that sort of thing as well. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. Until the next video. Bye-bye.